All right, we're back and we're going to talk about parenting in the early years. And so I've talked a little bit about boundaries before you even had kids. What do you do now when they're small? Maybe they're just starting to walk and run. Maybe they're not even talking yet. But even if they are, just know like it's important that you learn to set boundaries. And how do you do this, right? So let's just say you're outside and you're playing in the yard with your kid and your kid starts taking off for the street. And you have to be able to set a boundary so they know that that street is not a safe place because there are cars there, right? But what if that's where they want to go? You have to be able to set a boundary so they know to come back. So if you cry out for your kid to stop or to come back, are they going to listen, right? So we, as parents, we have to early on be able to identify boundaries for our kids. And the easiest ones when they're small is what are those safety things? I'll tell you a story. My daughter was going up ahead with my family to the swimming pool, and I thought she was fine. She's up there with her uncle, her cousins, and my son was already in the pool, had his life jacket on, and he's swimming around. My daughter didn't understand that she needed a life jacket on. She thought she was fine. She thought she could swim. She just jumps in, sinks like a stone. And I wouldn't have my daughter today if it wasn't for my son. He was there and he realized what was happening and he had his life jacket on and he fished her out and got her to safety. So as parents, we have to teach our kids what's safe or unsafe about being in water, putting life jackets on, making sure we're ready to go. And so that's something that's very, very important that we have to do as parents. We got to put the boundaries on the safety things in the lives of our kids. Next, I want to talk a little bit about parenting your values with little ones. Sometimes it's challenging, but think about what's really important to you. What do you want to teach your kid? Is it the value of teaching them generosity or learning to share? Or perhaps you want to serve as a family, so you do things together. Or maybe you're not sure you want to do a screen with your kid at a young age, so maybe you're going to spend more time outside or at the park. And so what's important to you when they're young and early? Or maybe if you think about who your village is, who are the people you want influencing your kid, maybe you spend time with family or grandparents, or going on play dates with coworkers that you think are going to be a good influence on your kid. So those things can be really important in the early years. And finally, hard things. When our kids are little, sometimes there's so many first things, it's hard. They're learning to walk or ride their bike. And our tendency is to want to bubble wrap our kid and keep them safe. But sometimes we have to let them go through those hard things so that they can learn and adjust, and we can be there with them to kind of help them through it. So thanks for watching, and that's parenting through the early years.